U.S. President Donald Trump says that he has paused strikes on Iran's energy infrastructure for another 10 days. He says the strikes have been delayed to the 6th of April, 8 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States. But that just covers strikes on Iran energy infrastructure. The war itself has not been paused, and all sides have launched even more attacks, setting more of West Asia aflame. Here's more.
U.S. President Donald Trump says that talks are ongoing with the Iranians, and they are going well. He says this has prompted him to delay strikes on Iran's energy infrastructure by another 10 days. But that doesn't mean that the U.S. has stopped its attacks elsewhere.
Then they would have come after us.
The U.S. Central Command, or CENTCOM, keeps releasing images purportedly showing its fighter jets in action over Iran. More visuals of damage have been emerging from Tehran and other areas such as Artabil and Bandar Abbas. Tehran is responding with more missile and drone barrages targeting Israel and U.S. assets across West Asia. The IRGC says it carried out attacks across the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait and Bahrain on Friday. Iran said it used long and medium-range missiles and destructive and roaming drones. Kuwait confirmed that its Shuwaik port was targeted at dawn and it suffered material damage. Iran also targeted Tel Aviv and Haifa in Israel. The strikes are adding to the concerns of the Israeli military, which is facing a personnel shortage on one hand and a setback in its stated goals on the other. New reports say that the IDF is becoming increasingly skeptical about Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's stated goal of regime change. Citing Israel's military intelligence, reports say that the assessment is that the US-Israeli war has not yet created the conditions necessary to topple the Islamic Republic. Israel now says it will be intensifying its attacks on Iran.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and I have made it clear to the Iranian terror regime to stop firing missiles at the civilian population in Israel. Despite the warnings, the firing continues. Consequently, IDF strikes in Iran will intensify and expand to other targets and sectors that help the regime develop and use military means against Israeli civilians. They will pay a heavy price, an increasingly heavy one, for this war crime.
So, Trump is delaying strikes on Iranian infrastructure. Israel plans to intensify its campaign, even though its own intelligence seems to believe that regime change will not be happening. Iran seems to be tightening its grip on the Strait of Hormuz, having turned back 3 more ships on Friday and saying that the waterway is closed for shipping to and from enemy ports. It seems that Iran is still resilient and a US-Israeli victory is slipping further and further away. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.